Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 5 in the Pokemon Premier League. My name is CBAD, coach of the Detroit Stillwings. We are taking on 6-foot hacks. Leo is a draft league veteran, much like myself. We got Clash of the Titans going on today. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. If you guys are, leave a like, subscribe for more draft league content. What are you doing if you're not tapping in for draft league at this point? Do it. Click it. Click it right now. Video's not going anywhere until you do it. I can't do that because the watch time is going to tank. But anyways, we're going up against Leo. We took spoilers in 3, 2, 1. We took a little bit of a loss last week. We ended up losing 1-0 and it was a very, very close match. I will never ever let an Assault Vest Raging Bolt on my team again without Earthquake, because wow, that was a very painful end game, I believe, for everybody involved. But it, you know, we played the game it is at the end of the day. You know, it went the way that it was. That's on my part for not prepping for that. If I had a nickel for every time something happened to me with a substitute Raikou and I lost, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's odd that it's happened twice in my career, so we just need to make a mental note of that moving forward. But we're looking to bounce back against Leo this week. He's got a team. It is a monster team. I am just candidly not looking forward to it. We can plan for probably about, 10 of them. He's got a full team of 12, but 10 of them are ideal. The other 2 are, again, the little like 0 pointers that people kind of just toss in there. So, but I technically either could show up. They could, I don't know. But he's got a pretty scary team. You guys will see some text floating somewhere on screen in post-production if you guys want to hop right on ahead of the battle. I always recommend you guys watch the builders. That way you guys know what I'm bringing and why I'm bringing it. But definitely, if it's not your speed, tap into those builders. I don't know what you're up to. That being said, you guys are going to start to see some teams appear on screen right about now. Leo's team consists of Darkrai, Landorus Therian, Iron Crown, Cyclizar, Ogerpon, Teal Mask, regular Rotom, Diancie, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Toxapex, and Registeel. The other 2 on his team are Cottonee and Surskit. I don't believe Cottonee or Surskit to show up. However, it is a Prankstermon and it is a Mon with Sticky Web, so there is always that hair of doubt in the back of your mind, but honestly, I'm not going to plan for him. Not going to plan for him. Terra Captains that could show up to the battle are Iron Crown and Ogerpon. I don't think Terra Surskit's going to show up. Just going to be honest with you, don't think it's coming. As far as the team itself goes, only form of hazard removal is in with something like the Cyclizar. It does have a large amount of priority, or a large amount of hazards available. Spikes, rocks, webs, and T-spikes across the board, which is going to be a little bit scary to deal with. However, one big kind of glaring thing on there is that there's kind of some, at least to me, there's some Pokemon that just kind of go crazy into the team. So I want to talk about those, and we'll talk about the team here. Like I said, I think we've got a really, really fun one here for you this week. Second week off the bench. First week back didn't really do so hot, so we're looking to bring it back this week. Titano Strike, the Raging Bolt. Holding their choice specs this time around, Thunderbolt, Thunderclap, Draco, and Volt Switch. We have 132 EVs in HP, 240 in special attack, 136 in speed with a modest nature. With this spread, let's talk about the special attack investment. 240 was really the ideal spot for just general max rolls across the board. 252 did put up like a few extra percentage here and there based on rolls into something like Cyclizar, based on like an Assault Vest set, into something like Diancie based on how it's built, Rotom. So 240 overall was like the good average of like, you're hitting about the max rolls. If you go the extra 12 in there, you're going to catch something at some point, but overall that's where that's going to sit at. 136 in speed puts us at 220. That puts us a hair above something like Landorus, Therian, and Rotom if they are uninvested. If it is a defensive Rotom with like Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, Screen, something along those lines, we'll be able to outspeed it. Same thing if it is like max HP, max defense Landorus. We've got 2 points above that. It hits 218. All in all, something like Diancie, we're naturally going to be out faster than something like Registeel. We're going to be faster than Toxapex as well. So just a little bit there, just in case. There really wasn't too much longevity that I was looking for by pumping more into defenses than this. And especially because a lot of times until Landorus goes down, we're going to play a little bit more cautiously with this unless the Urshifu comes. I don't know if Urshifu or Toxapex will show up because Raging Bolt is here. Just my 2 cents. I don't know if it'll show up, quite honestly. But once the Landorus goes down, Specs Volt Switch is going nutty, in my opinion. That's going to be our first Pokemon. Next up, supporting the team, we've got Carabiner the Klefki. She is holding her eject button with the Prankster ability. We have Thunder Wave, Spikes, Foul Play, and Draining Kiss. We're running a very, very defensive set. Max HP and defense investment, 4 in special defense with a bold nature. Really just to take hits from a lot of the threats. Something like Cyclizar, something like Ogerpon, something like Urshifu, like Landorus. We're able to take some of those physical hits. Even something like Registeel to an extent. We want to make sure that we're taking those physical hits as best we can. Foul Play just kind of good. A lot of really high attack stats across the field. Thunder Wave, nice for paralyzing things like the Cyclizar, for things like the Ogerpon, especially if he does decide to bring it as a Terra Captain. The Embody Aspect can always give it the speed boost. So if we can clip those wings, we'll be good there. Same thing with like an Iron Crown set. If it is anything like a Terra Fairy set, anything like a Terra Psychic set, we're able to Terra Water even. We're able to slow that down just a little bit more for those booster energy sets. Urshifu really doesn't want it. And then yellow color just goes a long way with some of the slower mons there. Draining Kiss, good for the recovery. Good to have something to be able to hit the Darkrai since we can't hit, Foul Play is not doing too much damage and we can't Thunder Wave it. Spike's going a really, really long way this week. Eject Button is nice because if I can go for a Spike, if I can go for a Thunder Wave, live the hit and return, I'm out. I bring in something that's coming in next. We can always bring Klefki back in, get another Spike up, get a 2-wave off, and go from there. Next up, we are bringing Mustache Merker, the Landorus. He's holding his Adrenaline Orb with the Sheer Force ability, Nasty Plot, Earth Power, Psychic, and Stealth Rock. 36 EVs in HP, 248 in special attack, 224 in speed with a modest nature. With this spread, we are hitting 294 in speed. We are 1 point faster than Adamant Urshifu Rapid Strike. The Adrenaline Orb is procced when I am face down with an Intimidate. If I am intimidated, my Adrenaline Orb pops and I get a speed boost, putting us then faster than everything on Leo's side of the field, including Scarfed Adamant Urshifu and below. Earth Power and Psychic go crazy into his team, especially if I'm able to get a Nasty Plot up. Rocks are always nice to have for a little bit of extra hazard control there. The 36 EVs in HP was really, again, we hit the 248 spot with something like the, with Modest. With the 248, we're hitting an even number as far as a maximum investment goes, so our Nasty Plot will be more beneficial as we start to, roll those numbers. The truncation of the digit falls off and we lose effectiveness. A 248 after the Nasty Plot is going to be ideal, just to give us the most overall bulk afterwards with the 36 investment in HP. Next up, we are bringing Igris the Ceruledge, holding his red card with the weak armor ability. We have Swords Dance, Bitter Blade, Terra Blast, and Iron Head. 252 EVs in HP, 28 in attack, 228 in speed with an Adamant Nature. We are running Terra Psychic. Terra Psychic really here to be able to hit super effectively things like the Toxapex, things like the Urshifu Rapid Strike. I'm not bringing any of our other Terra Captains, so we are running this. And I said it in last week's video, I'm not 100% confident on Ceruledge just yet. I haven't gotten there, and I don't know, again, if that's on the team supporting Ceruledge, on me using Ceruledge, but we'll see what happens at the end of the day. Terra Psychic with the weak armor, so where do we sit? So we end up hitting 263 speed. After that, after the weak armor boost, that ends up putting us at 526, which is going to be a hair above Scarf Modest Darkrai. The way in order to hit that, so after that, prior to that, we're outspeeding things like, middle investment Landorus, middle investment Rotom, things along those lines. So we'll be able to get a little bit of a boost off and go from there. You can obviously see with our 3 moves that Bitter Blade and Iron Head aren't hitting things like Urshifu or Toxapex super effectively. So Terra Blast, Terra Psychic made the most sense in my mind. After the weak armor, we're able to outspeed something like the Darkrai, depending on the set. Obviously, we'll be able to go from there. A Swords Dance at +2, we are doing a ton of damage to. So I'm looking forward to it. Something like Landorus, what I expect is like if he goes for a U-turn, if he goes for an Earthquake, we're able to Terra on that, and we're able to take that, even the U-turn, we're able to take that with the weak armor. The red card is going to activate, and he's not going to have the opportunity to switch into what he wants to go into. It's going to be a random Pokemon. We now have a +2 Ceruledge on the field. We can go for a Bitter Blade. We can go for a Terra Blast Psychic. We can go for an Iron Head, really start to pick up some KOs and start to compound and accelerate from there. Next up, we are bringing Martini the Arbalava. She is holding her Choppleberry with the Seed Sower ability. We have Alluring Voice, Earth Power, Giga Drain, and Psych Up. We're running pretty much a max defensive set, very similar to Klefki. 248 EVs in HP, 252 in defense, 8 in special defense with a Bold Nature. Really defensive set this week to, again, help out with something like a Landorus, to be able to help out with something like a body-pressing Registeel, to be able to help out with something like a physical Darkrai. Darkrai's got an okay attack stat, so I want to make sure that we can handle that. Something like a Cyclizar, Ogerpon, big one here that we want to make sure that we can take care of. Choppleberry helps out because Ogerpon going for something like a superpower, we're able to take that a lot better and go for one of our coverage moves into it. Urshifu Rapid Strike, same song and dance, close combat, like he can go for an Ice Punch. It's not doing as much damage as a close combat would, but if Ice Punch is the move of choice because it also hits something like Landorus and Raging Bolt, I understand that. But Choppleberry really just to kind of cover those 2 grounds there, we're going to be able to take that damage very, very comfortably. Our Seed Sower Pop sets the terrain. We go for something like a Giga Drain back, especially boosted by the terrain. We're able to take out something like the Urshifu. We're able to kind of 1v1 the Ogerpon to an extent. The three moves are really all-encompassing. Alluring Voice being able to hit something like Darkrai and Cyclizar super effectively. If it is something like a Swords Dance Ogerpon, we can go for the Alluring Voice and set the confusion from there. Earth Power being able to hit things like the Registeel, being able to hit things like the Diancie, being able to hit things like the Iron Crown prior to Terra. Giga Drain, good recovery, good stab. Psych Up, if it is anything sort of like a nasty plot Rotom, like let me nasty plot up and get like a Thunderbolt off, or as I Volt Switch out, anything along those lines. If I can copy that boost at any point, if it is something like a Iron Defense Body Press Registeel set, if I can Psych Up and steal those boosts alongside it, I feel like it puts me into a better position. I didn't really feel too comfortable with the last fourth move on that, so I was like, you know what, if we can get a Psych Up off, that ain't too bad at the end of the day. Last but not least, we are bringing Hot Rod to Talonflame. Now, he is holding, you guessed it, heavy duty boots with the Gale Wings ability. Brave Bird, Flare Blitz, Swords Dance, and Roost. Max attack and speed investment, 4 in special defense with a Jolly nature. We always outspeed, so we need to run the max speed Jolly in order to outspeed Darkrai. Darkrai is 125 base speed. We are 126 base speed. You can do the math from there. Brave Bird, Flare Blitz always claims one. Across the board, Dual Stab hits the Darkrai, Brave Bird hits the Cyclizar, Dual Stab hits the Ogerpon, Flare Blitz hits the Iron Crown prior to Terra, Brave Bird hits the Urshifu, Dual Stab hits the Landorus, Flare Blitz hits the Rotom, the Cottony, Brave Bird hits the Surskit. Can't believe I actually had to say that. It doesn't hit the Diancie as well as I'd like to. I don't know if this is Diancie's matchup, just candidly. Registeel, Flare Blitz is able to hit, Toxapex, Brave Bird is able to hit. If we can get a Swords Dance off, I mean, 81 attack stat is not like the craziest amount, but if we can get that boost off, not looking too bad. Boost is there for the longevity. Didn't really feel like running too much funsies with like defog, taunt, anything along those lines. Just figured get my recovery, get my boost up, and just start hitting things as hard as I can. So that is going to be the team. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys at the battle. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pokemon Premier League. My name is CBAD, coach of the Detroit Steel Wings. We are taking on the homie 6-foot Hacks. It has been a long time since Leo and I have had the pleasure of playing. Definitely go check him out if you're not subscribed to his channel. I don't know what you're doing. Absolute veteran in combat such as this, such as your boy. So we got a Clash of the Titans going on for you this week. If you guys missed the team builder, you guys see the 6 that I am bringing on screen. Leave a like if you're excited. Subscribe for more competitive Pokemon content. I'll see you guys at team preview. We got the Iron Crown. We got the Darkrai, the Cyclizar. We got the Lando T. We got the Ogerpon. And we got the Urshifu Rapid Strike. Okay. Everything I probably didn't want to see all in one. It is, of course, Terra Ground on Crown. Ogerpon, Terra Grass, duh. Yeah, I mean, this is Big Six if I ever saw it. So, what do I like? I like that once Lando goes down, electric spam is very, very free. I love being able to toss off a Choice Scarf Draco. His team is incredibly, incredibly fast, so we do have to play around that. I do like the option for Adrenaline Orb on Landorus in the Lando T lead, potentially. I like the Weak Armor on Ceruledge. Chople on Arboliva looks good for the Urshifu as well. I'm comfortable. I'm going to lead off with... Oh, see, it's a toss-up, right? It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. I'm going to start off with Klefki. We've got our eject button. We can take a hit, get a spike up, call it a day. Go out into something else. If it's a Lando lead, you know, I should have led off with my Adrenaline Orb Landorus. I was trying to make Guard Dog Okie Dokie work for this one. I couldn't find like a set that felt comfortable for me, so it is what it is. Leads off with Andreas. The Urshifu. Okay, I'm okay with that. I am 100% okay with that. I eat everything from this thing. And I just imagine, like, I don't know. To me, you don't want to go for a Thunder Wave, right? You don't want to go for any of that. So I'm just going to go for a Draining Kiss off rip. I don't think you want to get T-Waved. I don't. Surging Strikes, just goes for it. All right, hey, I respect it. I respect it. Where is that going to put me? That's not even going to put me because my eject button's going to go off. That's fine. The good news is you're not banded. Not banned. Okay. Big Draco here from Raging Bolt would look great, right? I'll do that. Because, like, yeah. Yeah, no Deancey means I click Draco Meteor right here. No Deancey means Draco Meteor is very, very free. We'll get some good chip damage off on... we'll knock this thing out. Or get big damage off on something else. Really, Iron Crown's the only mon that wants to take that at the end of the day. Which could very well come in, truthfully. Goes to the CC. Oh, are you just Sash? You're just Sash then, aren't you? Nope, just goes down. Okay, just wanted to get off as much damage as you can. Raging Bolt KOs Urshifu with Draco. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I mean, big value out of that Urshifu. I gotta give Leo props on that one. Like, just lead and hit as much as you can, as hard as you can. Goes down to Lando. Now, I have an answer for this. Well, I have an answer, huh? I'll just go into Klefki here. Like, I have 2 flying types, so I don't expect you to go for an earth move. Ground move, you go for a ground move, great. Like, Klefki's down. Klefki, unfortunately, didn't do what it wanted to do. There's your Stealth Rocks. Okay. Would a -2 Draco have knocked out Landorus there? No, but it would have done a heck of a lot of damage. I'll go for a Spiky Spike. Spiky Spike will go a long way. Break any potential sashes until Cyclozar comes in and spins them away. Still have my Ceruledge in the back. We'll trade some hazards here, which is fine by me. And you'll go for Earth Power. Ooh, special Lando. Okay. Landorus KOs Klefki with Earth Power. Okay. Well, I guess that works out, right? What does that work out for exactly? Like the Arbalava could come in right now. The rocks. Let's go. Let's check Ceruledge versus Landorus Therian. You're what? Timid. Earth Power. I'm assuming Sludge Wave. Let's just call it what it is. Okay. I'll go into Ceruledge here and get my Terra off. We'll take a little bit of Rocky Rocks there. It's okay. U-turn at most is 50 to 60 to me. Let's go for the Terra and... Should I just Bitter Blade? What should I go for here? Let's Swords Dance. I'll be faster. And Bitter Blade will be able to put me into a little bit of a better situation overall. Yeah, U-turn will do 50 to 60 to me. It'll pop my weak armor. Red card should hopefully force him out of something that he doesn't want to go out into. There's the Earth Power. Puts me down to 155. Red card him out. I'm at 44%. I guess the physical one, in order to not pop my stuff here, is beneficial. So if you're not Specs, I could maybe get a Bitter Blade off here. I'll try for it. Little faux pas there. I thought it might be the weak armor shenanigans I definitely got myself mixed up on. And if he's not max investment, Tachyon Cutter has a chance to not knock me out here. But if he has max investment, then of course Tachyon Cutter will knock me out. So let's just go for the Bitter Blade. He's going to burn Terror on Crown, which is fine. +2 Bitter Blade does about 82 to 97. Just goes for the Volt Switch. Okay, puts me down to 76. I'm at 21, so a +2 Bitter Blade is going out into something. Goes back out on Javier the Landorus. We got a good amount of damage back from that. Backed up to 182. Citrus Berry Lando? Citrus Berry Lando. Okay. So down to +1. I am not in range of an Earth Power. I will go for another Bitter Blade here. U-turn can knock me out here, depending on. U-turn would knock me out, depending on the roll, depending on the investment, right? With Stealth Rock Earth Power, I'm curious if you be mixed at all. Just the Earth Power, okay. 182 down to 67. So that did about 32. Am I going to be above? Oh, I am going to be above 32. I'm going to be back right up like a hair underneath of where I was. Okay. So here's my thought, is that I'm obviously going for Bitter Blade in order to get as much health back. Could you go out into the Cyclizar at any point? Like, is the Bitter Blade worth it for as much damage as I get? I'll try it. I feel like you might want this thing around. Goes for the Earth Power. Okay. That'll put me down to 72. Sarah Ledge will KO the Lando with Terra Blast. All right. We're at +1. Played that very well. Not me. Leo played that very well. Not to activate weak armor. The special moves not popping weak armor is definitely like great approach. Didn't even consider that in the team building process on my end. Told you, man. When I said I clashed the Titans, I meant I was clashing a Titan. Okay. Again. Where am I at? 72? Yeah. Yeah, I'm at 20%. I can try to go for a Bitter Blade here, but Iron Crown probably not. Yep, knocks me out the Tachyon Cutter. There it is. Iron Crown KOs Seru with Tachyon. Okay, so my best answer for this is Balava question mark? I believe so. I'll try it. I will try it. Could be AV. Could be AV. We really haven't seen anything else from this. I'll just go for the Giga Drain here. I'm not necessarily afraid of Ogerpon because I still have Talonflame in the back. There's the Volt Switch. 315 down to 280. Can I get an idea on what that does? 88%. Did 10%. Okay, so you are just max special attack then on Iron Crown. Okay, that's good to know. Timid. So probably maybe outspeeding something like Samurott. Samurott and Sarah Ledge, my base 85s. So, like I said, good to know. Something's going to take a Giga Drain in terrain. It's going to be the Ogerpon, who has the heavy-duty boots. I'll try to go for an Alluring Voice here in case there's like a Swords Dance set. Alluring Voice will get the confusion on any setup. It was either Alluring Voice or Dazzling Gleam. They both had the same base power, and I was like, well, in case I can catch them with any sort of a setup, like U-turn, I'm trying to think, like Superpower could be a play. I've got the Chople for Superpower, so we'll be able to take that pretty nicely. Just the Rock Tomb. Okay. That's fine with me. I'll continue to get recovery back. I'll go for a Giga Drain here. Now that I've shown Alluring Voice, you know, definitely I don't think you want to, you know, go for a Swords Dance here, so I'll just go for a Giga Drain to kind of play that. We're max defense on this to help out with the Ogerpon, so I'm fine with that. Goes to the Ivy Cudgel. That was a crit. Yeah, that was a crit. Okay. Try to get as much recovery back as I can to stay in the game. Landorus is not in a good spot. Landorus could come in against Crown at the very least. So I don't hate that. I don't want Landorus to come in right now. Let's just go for another Giga Drain here. Try to stay in the game as best we can. There's the Rock Tomb again. It is not going to be doing too much. I'll continue to get my recovery back here through terrain. I think he might be trying to put me in cudgel range here, so let me go for the Alluring Voice at this point. Synthesis. Okay. So we have for Synthesis around half. Okay. Good to know. Grass disappeared from the battlefield, so it will no longer be boosted on his end. I'll go for another Voice here. Because if I can get him back to a spot around half for Synthesis, again, I could go out into Talonflame. On the, I could go out into Talonflame on that. Could be Ivy Cudgel, Rock Tomb, like Synthesis, Spiky Shield. To, like, proc to get rid of my Gale Wings. And then go for Rock Tomb afterwards. So I think if we can bring Talonflame in safely, we definitely Swords Dance on this one. Here's the Ivy Cudgel again. All right, beautiful. Thank you. No critical hitchulers today. None of those. Okay. This will be a long exchange between these two, but I think it'll be a decent position for Arbalava. Like I said, if I can continue to get him down to about half and then pull Talonflame in, we could be in a decent position there. I mean, even with the Rock Tomb, maybe the Rock Tomb. So I have to imagine. So I am speculating that the fourth move is Spiky Shield because Ogerpon is a Terra Captain, so it could get faster than Talonflame. Spiky Shield to stop the Brave Bird. I lose my Gale Wings, and then he's faster after Terra and KOs with Rock Tomb. I could definitely see that exchange happening. So we'll do this Song and Dance a little bit more. I'm getting about 7% back off the Giga Drain, and then another 6%. So I'm getting about 13 or so % back every time I go for the Giga Drain. There's the Rock Tomb again. A little bit more damage. That might have been a crit on my end. Okay. So I think like right now is when you'd go for a Synthesis, if anything. I could also go Lando right now. I could do that. I could do that. I could go out in a Lando right now. I don't want to get myself in a spot where... Yeah, there's a Rock Tomb. Okay, so Talonflame is not to play there. Got it. I'm going to put you in a spot where an Alluring Voice could crit. I think you have to Synthesis here. I don't think an Alluring Voice crit would do it right here. 36 to 42, depending on the investment. I will, I'll play the long game. Ah, there it is. I knew I should have went to Talonflame on that one. Shit. All right, that's fine. That's fine. The Alluring Voice will get them more damage off here. Grass disappeared from battlefield, so I will take the Ivy Cudgel. I'll go for another Alluring Voice here. So I don't want something like Darkrai or Cyclizar to come in and be like, hey, I'm going to knock you off or I'm going to do something here. I don't want him to take this opportunity to go for that. I'm in enough health where I can go for the Alluring Voice. I could go for Earth Power for Spadef drops. I think that's a bad idea. He hasn't seen my other two moves yet. Oh, please tell me I caught something with an Alluring Voice. Foreign. I caught the Cyclizar with it. That'll do something. Yeah, that'll do something. I mean, Draco Meteor does what? 31 to 37 to me? I can keep this around. Let's just... Is there not a reason to go for, like, the Giga Drain here? Yeah, it goes for U-turn. That's fine. Yeah, Seed Sower will pop. I'll get a good Giga Drain off on something. We've seen that Cyclizar does not have... it has no boots and has U-turn. So it could be another AV user. Like I've said before, we know Ogerpon has the... we know Ogerpon has the boots because it's not going to take spike damage here. Yeah, he's having a little trouble breaking this. You can't necessarily get a free switch in on this thing. So let's go for an Earth Power here. Let's try to fish for a little Spadef drop. We haven't shown this yet. I don't think the fourth move is like Encore or anything. We'll get a little chippies. Like I said, if we can get a Spadef drop, no, that's fine. Okay. So we're going to put him not immediately under half, but the turn after that under half, and then I think we'll go into Talonflame and try to pull that off. Especially because we just got crit right here. Which happens. Ivy Cudgel's a high crit move. There's no... I'm not salty about that by any means. That's literally what the game does. Okay, so you're going to be out of crit range. Maybe I pull another Giga Drain off on you. You've used 6 out of 8 of your Synthesis, or you've used 2 out of 8. Wow, you went early for it. Okay, that's fine. 5. 5 Syntheses. The terrain and the grassy, or in the Giga Drain, will put me into a better spot. I'll go for the Earth Power. I'm running out of Giga Drains. I'll go for the Earth Power here. Again, try to grab the special defense drop. Oh, your last one's Encore. Oh, I definitely would have thought it would have been like Spiky Shield. Okay, good to know. That's fine with me. Yeah, that is absolutely fine with me. Let's go Lando here. I like the Encore. Encore's a good one. I'm a big fan of that. The draw is perfect. All right. Made a good play there. Goes out into 4, which is going to be the Cyclozar. Going to take a little bit more from that. Take our rocks damage. And then truthfully, let's go for an Earth Power. Like, you two can come out. You can rapid spin the spikes away now here too. Earth Power hits everything across the board. Ogerpon's got about half of its syntheses left. Ice Spinner. I didn't even know you got Ice Spinner, brother. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. All right. Well. I'll try to go for a Stealth Rock here. Here's the Rapid Spin. Okay. Cyclozar KOs Lando with Rapid Spin. I didn't even know that thing got Ice Spinner. Wow. Okay. So what would you do to me then if I go out in a Talonflame here, right? Cyclozar. And I go for like a Swords Dance. Like, what are we talking about there, right? I imagine you get some sort of a rock coverage move. Right? Ice Spinner's great. Wow, I think Ice Spinner might like 6-0 me right here. You have to get a rock move, right? You're a funky little dragon guy. Cyclozar. You do not get rock. Oh, okay. And my controller is not good. I got 60 seconds on the move time. Which gives me time to plug this in. And I believe I'll just go for the Alluring Voice here. Yeah, that'll do some damage to me. Alluring Voice will be able to get me into a better spot. And the whomstever is coming in here. That's going to be a long one. U-turn, Ice Spinner, Rapid Spin, Blank. Okay, so I thought you might have gotten rock moves. If I would have had that pulled up just a hair sooner, that would have been nice. Yeah, Cyclozar is a tricky one, because, like, what do you do against it, right? Cyclozar is a tricky little bugger. I think I just try to Alluring Voice it down, honestly, and then try to bring in Talonflame at some point on a Synthesis. That's the trouble, right? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Encore me. You're going to take more damage. You'll be in good enough range to go for a hit here, so I think I'm going to go for one more Alluring Voice. It hits your whole team very nicely, so I'm not really concerned about it. Here's the Ivy Cudgel. Yup. 190 down to 124. All right. Now you go for the Synthesis, and I bring in Talonflame. You do that, and I'm in an okay spot. There we go. All right, 4 Synthesis. I got Talonflame in against Ogerpon. I don't think you can let me set up a Swords Dance, so I'm just going to light off a Brave Bird into you. I think if you switch here, I don't agree with that play, for what it's worth. Like, if you switch here, you made situationally the right play, but I think if switching here, you can't let me go for Swords Dance. You could go for the Encore. I could have went for a Swords Dance. That's so crazy. Goes back out in a, or goes out in a Blackbeard, the Pokemon fan. Okay. Also boots on Darkrai. Beautiful. Okay. I'll pop another one. No, not boots on Darkrai. Not boots on Darkrai. You could be scarfed. You could be scarfed. They just won the spikes away. That's right. I'm at 82%, so I take any one hit from Darkrai unless it's specs. And if it's specs, I'm faster. Scarf Darkrai. Okay. Okay. Talonflame KO's Darkrai. I live on 12. Beautiful. Who comes in? I snipe Ogerpon. Cyclozar's low. Iron Crown probably comes in, right? I have to imagine. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it was a coin toss. If I Swords Dance on the Darkrai coming in, I would have knocked it out with the Brave Bird, right? If I didn't, he either locked me with Encore, he went out into the, you know, did the Rock Tomb stuff. All right, Cyclozar. Brave Bird knocks this out every time, but do I then lose to Terra Ground Iron Crown? I'll Roost here, quite honestly. Let's see if that does anything for me. Like if he just went for a U-turn or something? Yes. Okay. All right. Puts us back a little bit more skin in the game. Your Regenerator's coming back, which is unfortunate, but that puts me into a little bit of a more favorable position against Iron Crown. This Tachyon Cutter will not... A Tachyon Cutter is a... You need the highest roll possible to KO me. On both of them. On both of them. Volt Switch always does KO me. So let's take an opportunity to go out into Arboliva. I can't knock that thing out from here. Let's go back onto Arboliva, try to get terrain up, try to get some recovery back up to help out with Cyclozar. We'll take a little bit of Rocky Rocks, which is fine. Yep, Volt Switch is always going to put me down. That'll do a little bit. It'll get my terrain. All right. I think Leo has this, but I'm going to fight tooth and nail to get back into it. At the very least, I want to minimize as much... damage as possible. I'm curious what, like, the Lando calc was for that, to do that much to me. Cyclozar with Ice Spinner. Is that just, like, Jolly, like max? Yeah, it could be. Okay, so against Talonflame, then. It was about 24 to 29. I'm at 124. Let's go out into Talonflame here. Is the Ice Spinner? Yup. 124 to 38. Okay. That's not what I wanted to see. That would have been, what, 29%? Yeah, that was a decently high max roll from uninvested. U-turn does 5 to 6% to me. So let's Roost here. Because I think if at any point I go for a Swords Dance, that's game. And I need to stay in. We haven't seen the last move on this. So if the last move is like Draco and it knocks me out, great, you got me. Dragon Tail. I like that. I'm still in the game. I like that, though. Beautiful. Does Specs Thunderclap do anything to you? Cyclizar Assault Vest. No. Oh, that's -2. Hold on. Not really. An Ice Spinner probably knocks me out. Actually. It could. It could. Only one way to find out is drop a Draco, baby. Nah, that's going to kill me. That'll do it. Okay. Cyclizar KOs Raging Bolt with Ice Spinner. Cyclizar's damn devil, really. Okay. Talonflame again. Roost. I need to get to a spot where I feel comfortable with Talonflame to go for a Swords Dance. So let me go for another one here. If I can get just a little bit more information on what sort of set this is, that would be great. So I'll be up to 84%. Uh, 251 down to 152. 34. Okay, so you do have some investment. You have a decent amount of investment. Okay. Okay. The Ice Spinner comes out here. Alluring Voice for some chip. Cyclizar KOs Arboliva. U-turn. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna... I don't know, man. Talonflame against the world right now, right? Goes on Iron King. Iron Crown, Assault Vest. Terra Ground. Yeah, Volt Switch does over half to me. What about like Psyshock? Future Sight. Just trying to see your Terra Blast. I'm just trying to see like what my best options are here. Because Volt Switch puts me down. But if I do go for a Roost, I can take one. But if I go for the Roost here and he Terra Blast, that's game, right? So I'll go for the Roost. If he makes that call and goes for the ground play, like GG. You got me. There's Volt Switch. Okay. Thank you. That's what I wanted. Okay, that crit I'm salty about. That crit I am a little salty about. It should have done about 33 to 30, like 40. I should have been around the 60% range. But yeah, put me back down to under half. Okay. I'll just go over the Flare Blitz here. Try to pick this off. Like I said, try to keep everything as low as possible at the end of the day. Talonflame KOs Ogerpon. Blitz. It's going to put me down to 59 health. Fighting for my life here. Iron Crown comes back out. Yeah. At this point, like a Roost. I mean, I could crit Roost. Or I could crit Flare Blitz. But even then, I'm not taking it. Yeah, I mean, I'll go for the Swords Dance here in case he's like, oh, he's going to Roost again. Let me catch him with the Terra Ground. I'll try it. But I think as close we're going to bring it as a 2-0. Oh, hold on. I think now he has to spam Terra Ground, like Terra Blast, Terra Ground, right? Like that's 100% what he's got to do. Because if I roost it all, I'm back in the game, right? Flare Blitz at the very least will bring this down to a 1-0. All right, so I at least got that play right. In my mind. Well, I assume it brings it down to a 1-0. Nope. All right, he lives. All right, that's fine. He had some HP investment on there. I tried. Talonflame KOs itself against Crown with Blitz Recoil. Yeah, he had to lock himself into Terra Blast there because if I ever roosted, that was it. I could have gone for a... Then it was the mind games of like, do I go for another Swords Dance on the Terra Blast to get to +4? I was thinking maybe he was like a max speed, max special attack type of set, but maybe there was just enough investment there for a +2 Flare Blitz. So either ways, 2-0. 2-0 to Leo. GG's. Definitely had a fun matchup there. I know it was a little bit of a back and forth there between Ogrepon and Arbalova there for just a little bit, but tried my best to claw it back in. We are now currently... What is that? Let me pull up... We're 3-2. That'll be 3-2 +4. So we're still in a good spot for standings overall to make it to playoffs. We do got to lock it in and get it back into high gear. We started off strong 3-0. Played two very, very good opponents back to back. That's just the name of the game at the end of the day. All the props in the world to Leo. Had a fun back and forth there. Hopefully I get to play him again in playoffs. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you guys have, leave a like, subscribe for more Pokemon Draft League content, and I want to remind you guys to be great and do great, and I'll see you guys next week for game day. Later.